Hey, what's up guys? It's Toxic here, and welcome back to Unpopular Opinions, the series where I take your unpopular opinions, posted on a community post every Thursday or so, and I take your thoughts, I give my own thoughts on them, and kind of give them a platform to really get some attention. Now, I just want to say this now before I get a million comments about it. If you hear some weird mechanical noise in the background or something, it's because there's a lot of construction outside and, you know, I can't really put off this video any further, else it'll be like a year late. So anyway, all that aside, the first comment is from Liddy Litton. Roblox should make an event where the users choose the games. Now, I have never heard of anyone even saying that, and it has quite a lot of likes, so maybe it isn't as unpopular as I thought when I first, made my list of comments for this. But I really feel like, I definitely feel like that would be actually pretty interesting. I would love to see, like, you get to vote X amount of games, and only X amount are the ones that they're going to use, and I feel like it would generally be pretty interesting to see, like, hey, I want to see, like, you just put up a little poll on Roblox. It's as simple as that. They don't even have to put that much effort. They just make a little poll saying, vote for your favorite game here, and we're going to choose the top 5 voted for an event, or something as simple as that. But the way it is right now, where it's just all these random games, and the rewards are pretty okay at best. It's not really, that amazing. No one really plays defense, if I'm being honest. I don't really think most people do. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But it would be pretty cool to see an event where actual users choose it instead of just Roblox. But moving on to the next comment from Oogly Boogly. Roblox Egg Hunt is going to be a lag fest. I have never heard anyone have this thought on, this egg hunt. So I definitely felt this was going to be something at least kind of unpopular, because I've seen quite a lot of people excited for it and quite a lot of people, pointing out, hey, there's a little bit of issues with this event, blah, blah, blah. But I have not seen anybody talk about it being laggy. And I don't really know how true that is. It depends on how many people are in the servers and how much is going on. But it's definitely a possibility, which is why I wanted to, put this in the video. But I don't know. I feel like it's a very interesting thought. I don't think it's going to be that laggy, at least not as laggy as it usually. I think it's going to be as laggy as usual. Nothing really extra, because I feel like just putting an egg in shouldn't be that much extra work. Maybe if it's like some complex thing that requires a lot of like resources, maybe then it's a little bit of an issue. But for the most part, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But moving on to the next comment from Sublime. Roblox should stop making gears. And this kind of ties into another comment that I, marked. So I want to do both here because they're very similar. Another one from Juho Olio. Gears on Roblox are actually underrated and they get bashed way too much. I've seen both sides of the story here. Both are pretty, like, even thinking about gears in this point in time is pretty unpopular to begin with. But I do feel like Roblox should not stop making gears. I think they should find a way to incentivize using the gears you buy on Roblox in a game. Because as it stands, most games that Roblox supports, like, puts on the front page, well, they don't really put it on the front page, but I don't think there's a single front page game that lets you bring in any gear from the catalog that you own. And, they have a little feature section of their own where it's like Roblox's chosen ones. I don't remember the exact name. I'm actually going to check right now as I'm talking. It's featured, actually. It's legitimately just called featured, where they pick a certain amount of games, and that's that. And I remember that thing coming out, and I think that if they do something like that where it's like Gear Week, where it's like, all these games are allowed, or maybe even just they make a little thing called Gear Week where they try to encourage developers to allow gears. I think it'd be a very interesting outcome, because I wonder what you could really do with these gears in game, because the only game that's kind of popular where you could use gears in is Catalog Heaven. But from the comments saying that they're underrated and bashed way too much, that's definitely an extremely unpopular view, and to a degree, I have to agree, but also disagree. They're very underrated. Nobody really cares for gear, aside from maybe really rich traders already who just want, to make a cool outfit. But I feel like they do deserve some bashing, because not really on their own merit, because some gear are actually pretty amazing, from the catalog. They could probably compete with some actual games like Gear in terms of how strong they are, etc., etc. I mean, there are quite a few overpowered gears on Roblox to begin with, but overall, I feel like it's not really their fault as much as it is just nobody really trying to put gears into their games. That's really those people's fault, so to say. But moving on to the next comment from Pan Tommy. I really don't like R15 ankles and wrists. I wish there was something like R9 where you can have elbows and knees. This is one that I really took lightheartedly and I wanted to put into this video only because, again, one of these really unique views I've never heard of, and I think it's pretty funny, so I wanted to put it in. But I think it would be pretty interesting if you could turn off the ankles and wrists on your R15 character in the future. I mean, that would be a very interesting way to have R15, just like the bendy joints but no ankles and wrists to go with it. It would be a very, very interesting concept, and I really wonder, I wonder what made you think about this. Like, what made you just look into R15 like, I like parts of it, I just don't like the ankles and wrists. Like, I don't know how you read into it to the point where it's just like, that's the only thing that ticks you off about it, or just makes you not want it. It's pretty crazy. But moving on to the next comment from Rip, or RIP, the superhero package should get removed because of oh dears, or if you don't know what that is, that's online daters. And oh my lord, I've only encountered a handful of people who've had this opinion in my life. I feel like this is one of the most uncommon thoughts on Roblox, quite possibly ever. But I don't think packages should get removed because of what people do with these packages. Now, this has been done with hats where they, you know, fix the hat a little bit to make it, you know, less abusable by people who want to, you know, kind of break the rules with it. But I feel like in general packages should not be removed just solely because, oh, these people are doing weird stuff with it. Let's just shut it down. Shut it down. No one gets it anymore. That's over. I feel like that's a very, very poor way to try to deal with it. I think that packages in general shouldn't be removed because of online daters. Just the thought of that is pretty silly, honestly. I don't know. Maybe I'm just one of those people who are like, whatever. Just maybe I'm one of these people that you just hate now, and maybe you're just gonna unsubscribe if you even were to begin with. I don't know. But moving on to the next comment from Paha. The Zip 22 in Phantom Forces needs a nerf. That thing is too OP. If you guys don't get it, it's a reference to, at least I'm assuming it's a reference to one of my most viewed videos, the worst gun in Phantom Forces. It's literally like the one video that I really, really think, like looking back at it, it's one of the silliest videos I think I've ever made. But I think it's definitely, you know, a good one. I think that this is an interesting thought. Like, I like the reference here, and I guess because of that reference and the one like you got before it, you managed to get into the video. So, I feel like it definitely, you know, deserves at least a little bit of a buff, not even a nerf, because the way it is right now, unless you have the auto clicker I was using, you're definitely not going to get too many people with it. It's not very good. How's that? But moving on to the next and last comment from Nan user, the Dominus Aureus is good. And I didn't even know about this until recently, but a lot of people seem to dislike the Aureus, or at least the people who I know do, because my friend Kaneko Kitten made a video called The Most Overrated Hats on Roblox, something along those lines. I don't know the exact title, but you can look on his channel if you want. But I really didn't know he didn't like the Dominus Aureus. Honestly, I think it's a pretty good hat. I think it's very underrated compared to, you know, something like Rex, where everybody loves Rex, but I think Aureus just looks better. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I didn't know so many people disliked Aureus. I thought it was a pretty well-liked hat. I've even saw Cassidus on Twitter talking about it, because I was like, no, the Rex is uglier, and he was like, no, the Aureus is uglier, or something like that. I don't remember, I have bad memory. But all I know is that a lot of people don't really like the Aureus, and I didn't even know that, but I have to agree with your unpopular opinion. The Dominus Aureus is good. And I'm going to end the video here, but before I go, I want to let you guys know how to get into these videos, because I see a lot of people posting their unpopular opinions in the comments, and that's not really where I check when I make these videos. So if you do want to get into these videos, post your unpopular opinion on the community post. I usually make around like a day or two before I make these videos. It's usually in my community tab on my channel, and you could really just go over there, and all you'll really have to do is just post a comment, you know, your unpopular opinion there. And if it's unpopular and interesting enough, I will put it into a video. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.